What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the David Lopez Show, presented by Passion Park ENT. You know what it is. I am glad to be back for another episode. Today is a fun one. It is a interview, more just a conversation with Benny the Jet, who is a Iowa-based hip-hop artist. We met back in 2017 when I performed at Gabe's. Kind of crazy how time flies, because it's 2020 now. That was 2017. We're already 3 years. 3 years ago when that happened. Time is so weird now, especially, even this year's going by kind of fast. Even with the quarantine, is like we've been doing this for 6 months already. I don't know if it's because everything is just, days are just blurring together or what's going on, but as you get older, I'll say that as I get older, time is just flying by even quicker. So I guess that makes more sense. You have more time. The perspective on it seems different. A year is such a big thing when you only have lived 14 of them, but when you've lived 30 of them, a year seems smaller, and then that exponentially changes. Anyways, what the hell am I talking about? I don't know. This conversation with Benny though was really dope. This is a long form conversation. We kind of just talk about a bunch of shit. A lot of it has to do though with his musical journey and he's a younger hip hop artist, and so a lot of his music is more on the party scene and stuff, comparative to me. And we talk a little bit about that, what inspires him, what's gotten him to where he's at. He's got a nice little following, got a good fan base, and he is headed to do hopefully some bigger things. So I liked hearing just where he's at with a lot of these things, what he thinks about a lot of these things. Musically, and we also I got to learn a little bit about the Iowa scene, how shit's going on out there a little bit. We talked a little bit about some of the activism stuff, and so he recently released a music video. We talk about it a lot, called Cops, and it directly talks about a lot of the police brutality we're seeing, and we talked about the Black Lives Matter movement a little bit. He stepped up in Iowa City and helped out, and I know was a visual force and was out there with the people doing those things. So I kind of want to talk about that a little bit. It's cool to hear young people doing those things. I know we see it on the news, like there is a bunch of young people protesting out there doing the things. So it's cool to hear it from that side, because I know a lot of people are always just like, these young people are just partying, they don't care or whatever. It's good to hear some young people, and I don't think that all of them, first off, when I was young, partying, doing dumb shit all the time anyways, but a lot of them, feel a responsibility and want to make things better. So I think it's cool to hear that, and to remember that is that there is a lot of like hope too. Like there's a lot of younger people who have, a good mindset for what the future can be, hopefully. And with that being said, the unfortunate and just gross and brutal events that transpired this weekend up near where I'm at in Kenosha, with Jacob Blake being just disgustingly shot, and like the whole manner of that situation. Watching that video was disgusting. I know if anybody else has seen, if you watched that video and thought nothing else, then what the fuck is that? Then I don't really know how else to approach it. It was gross, and it just feels like the same thing again. Obviously it's different, and I know these things aren't new to this year, but obviously with the quarantine and with everything happening and it just bottling up the combustion of things and the climate and the energy that we're in right now, to have another incident like this happen and they just keep piling on, it is so clear and evident that we need change and that things have to happen. And we owe it to the rest of the country, to everybody, to figure this shit out. We owe it to, oh God, we just owe it to people, man. People have to be treated better. This whole system is fucked up. It's just a shitty thing, and I think we all know that, and we're in such a toxic environment right now. Just to have another one of those things happen, and like there's a state of emergency right now up here in Kenosha. There was I'm like 40 miles away, but I saw National Guard just everywhere. I know there was just fires everywhere. We're just at a very restless and crazy time right now, and I just pray and hope that we all can get through this. We will get through this. We will get through this year, and we will get past this. And we will hopefully come out a better version of ourselves because of it. But we're in the midst of it right now, and that is some real shit. So yeah, I can't. It's hard to have any conversations where that doesn't come up now, and it's like I don't want to just completely avoid. I'm not avoiding anything on this show, I like to talk about the shit if it happens. I just can't even fucking fathom how that situation happened. Oh my god. But anyways, we did get into some of that, and it was really like I planned. We booked this interview. I think last week we were like, all right, we're gonna set this date to do this, and then the Jacob Blake shooting happens over this weekend, and I was like, wow, it really lined up for me to be able to talk about it and bring it up in a very natural way because like I said, Benny has this cops video that talks about the situation. And I thought it was really good to hear from him because he comes from a mixed family and like a lot of us, where political views and these kind of thoughts, which aren't even supposed to be political thoughts but have become political thoughts, are mixed in your family, and you're like, what the, how do we deal with all this? So we talk a little bit about that because he deals with, releasing a music video like that and then not having all your family respect it or like it, and like that is it's a real thing. It's a real thing right now. But once again, I said there, like, I don't understand. I just can't. It's just, I'm trying to, because I try to be empathetic and put myself in other people's shoes, but I really can't understand the arguments against the basic fundamental rights and freedoms that we all should have. Like, I just can't understand when people argue back, whatever the excuse may be. I just can't get it. And you'll hear us talk about that a little bit on here. So yeah, like I said, it worked out in the sense that it had to be talked about and that he was coming on this week. So we did talk about it a little bit. That's in the middle of there somewhere. It's a long episode, like I said. And this was already a longer intro than I meant to do because I just wanted to get you guys into the show. But I just want, I had to preface it with a little bit, and just, really just to put my, like, my thoughts and my prayers out there just on a regular, just like a regular speech up top, I guess. I don't know, because like Jacob Blake is from Chicago. Like, he went to high school like near where I'm from, and he's like almost the same age as me. Like, and he played football and basketball. I'm like wondering if I ever played basketball against him growing up. Not that should change anything. George Floyd, just because I don't know him, doesn't change how that situation was. But it does hit closer to home when you know the people, or when you are aware of the situation, or when the situation is 40 miles from where you're at. It hits closer to home. And it's just so clear and evident that we need some real reform and real change. If that video doesn't highlight a clear problem, because that's just one video. And first off, those cops weren't wearing body cams, which I don't understand, because I thought that's part of the deal now. But if that video doesn't right there show you, like, because like what we always do, what we did with the last thing with the George Floyd thing, a lot of people were like, yeah, that's one bad apple, that's one bad cop. But it keeps happening. And then this situation was I can't even understand how this could even be interpreted as de-escalating a situation. It doesn't, that's why I'm not even trying to get into the details of it, because there's no argument. There is no argument, in my opinion. There's no argument. And if those incidents don't show you, then I think it's more, it says more about where you're at and what the excuses that you're willing to make. And I understand that we have family members that are cops, and we have friends that are cops. But you just got to be honest with what's going on and what the situations are. So yeah, we're going to get through this. Like I said before, we're going to get through all this. And with that being said, I'm going to get through this intro right here and just get right into the conversation I had with the homie, Benny the Jet.
David Lopez is the name. It's my show. Welcome to it. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, man. All good. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. I'm actually just watching a podcast.
Yeah, what are you watching?
What's the fucking called? It's the one with Andrew Schultz.
Oh, and him and Charlemagne?
Yeah, it was like Possibly Brilliant, whatever it's called.
Oh, nice. He's super funny. I like him.
Hell yeah.
That's dope, man. How you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm staying healthy, staying alive,
That's good.
Yeah. So where you at? Are you in Iowa City right now?
Yeah, I'm in Iowa City currently.
That's what's up. So are you from Iowa City?
I was born in LA. Actually, I moved to Iowa when I was 4 years old.
Okay.
But yeah, I was traveled a lot back and forth when I was a kid and stuff. So I have a lot of friends and stuff out there.
In LA?
Yeah, in LA.
Oh, that's what's up. That's awesome. Where in LA? Like whereabouts?
I was born in Los Angeles, and then my family moved to Burbank when I was younger, which is like And like depending on traffic, like an hour, hour and a half.
Yeah, like everything's like an hour away in LA. No, no, I got friends out
Yeah.
there, so I've gone there a couple times. I love LA. I just posted a picture the other day. I was like, man, I miss it there. Like, I might want to go.
Me too. I was gonna move out there actually in April, and then COVID happened.
Oh,
And then I
really?
started book. Yeah, I started booking shows here too. So I was like, okay. I like booked some shows, and then I had another podcast interview around that time. So I was like, I'm just gonna stay.
Yeah.
And so here I am.
Yeah, right, right. And well, and it's probably a good thing you stayed just for the time. I mean, it got real rough out there and everything's going crazy right now. Um
Yeah.
was that always your plan to go out there?
Well, I mean, not like specifically there. As long as there's business connections and stuff out there, I was going out more for the I guess the opportunities I had because my friend Alex Simon, he's an actor out there. He works for like Universal and Paramount and stuff.
Okay.
And so I was gonna be living with him, and he was gonna give me some jobs like just doing like little like busy work on sets and stuff,
Yeah.
like trying to get my name out there. But then COVID happened, and he had to get a new roommate and stuff. And if I went out there alone, it would have been way too expensive for me to go out there. So
Yeah, no. You're preaching to the choir. I feel you. It was always my plan to move out to LA as well. That's why I was kind of well. I mean, it sounds like you had an opportunity come up, but I was always planning for like acting and for music, just because there's just everybody you meet out there is doing the same shit, so there's more opportunities. Um,
yeah,
but now like I feel like a lot of people are moving out, so I'm like curious. I don't know.
yeah, no. I know Joe Rogan just moved to Texas.
Yeah, I know. Maybe a lot of people is just like me hearing like three celebrities saying they're moving from LA, and I'm like, everybody's moving out. I'm like, I guess not. But nah, I mean, that was always I was always hoping to move that way, anyways. But what I do feel like, because when I was younger, I mean, I'm a lot older than you, I'm sure. So like,
Mhm.
when I was like in acting classes in college and shit, like that was always the plan. Like, you got to move out to LA. The nice thing though, I feel like things have changed. Like musically, like I feel like you don't necessarily need to be out there to really
Nah,
make it cracking, especially music wise.
yeah, yeah.
So
No,
like I
I
like that you
agree.
said you were booking shows in Iowa City, because that's like a great, like that's what you got to do, is blow up where you're at.
Yeah, no, it's dope because actually this Thursday I'm headlining Voodoo Lounge, which is in Cedar Falls. It'll be my second time headlining that venue. I'm really excited to go back. It's a great venue and stuff. But
Yeah, that's awesome.
I
Congrats.
I I mean, besides like COVID, like man, I'm ready to just do more shows um outside of Iowa City.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's always good to. I mean, you got to do both. Like I said, like it's good to make a name where you're at, but then like yeah, you got to get the
Definitely.
name out. You got to do your thing. That's cool though. Like, congrats on headlining the other show, the next show. Do you know, like, have you done a show since this whole? You did do you didn't you do
Yeah,
one show since this whole shit popped off? Like the.
I did. I did. It was weird because like it was like right. It was like March. Yeah, around. It was like right when it started happening. The first few cases started popping up. I did like a home show. My buddies had like this really dope house that they're about to move out of. Like, we want to throw one last party here, and like, would you be down to perform? And we could get more heads in the building and stuff. So I was like, definitely. So
Right.
I brought my equipment and all that stuff. We cleared out the garage. We did a show there. It was really successful. It was dope. We honestly should have charged cover because there
Yeah.
was so many people there. And then like a few weeks later, then like all the cases started hitting the United States.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I'm
um,
sure
uh,
it didn't hit where you're at quite as fast as it hit everywhere else, right?
I mean, Iowa City was one of the biggest places because we have the University of Iowa.
Right.
So like that was like, one of the best hospitals in the country. So a lot of places, or a lot of people that got tested positive or tested positive for it ended up at the university at the beginning because of that.
I see. I didn't even know that. I had no idea. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, it was kind of like ground zero almost.
Yeah, that's
It was kind of
crazy.
fucked.
Yeah, I mean that's how it was in Chicago when I was out there, and I mean pretty much every major city got hit really hard. So
Yeah,
like, what are you guys doing? So this Thursday for your show, like, is that I don't know how big Voodoo Lounge is. So is that a big place
Voodoo
or?
Lounge is huge. Yeah, so I performed there once, or 2 months ago actually. I headlined there, and it's dope. So you walk in, it's like a giant building. It says like it has a big V on it. You walk in, and you have to go in the elevator, and the elevator goes up to the actual club.
Okay,
And then up there is like a huge dance floor, huge bar area. They have a giant chandelier. The DJ booth is really cool. It's a dope location, really.
yeah.
They did a really good job with that.
That's what's up. So what are they doing? Just like mask on and shit, and like just like you can't like
Yeah,
have.
I don't know, to be honest. I'm gonna be wearing my mask. I tell everybody who's gonna be coming, please wear a mask. You know, it's recommended. But Cedar Falls is really not. Honestly, they're really not doing what they should be doing
For real.
with like mandates and stuff, which is kind of scary. But at the same time, I'm about to make some money. I got a lot of fans up there in Cedar Falls,
Okay.
so as long as people social distance, I told people, I'm like, you're not gonna get into my VIP section unless like I know you.
Yeah.
You're masked up. We talk on a regular basis. But yeah, so I'm gonna go up there and do that real quick, and then I'll come back down. I just dropped that music video
Yeah, the cops
for
one.
cops.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
so
definitely wanna I wanna get into that, but real quick before I do,
yeah.
not to cut you off, I do wanna because I
No,
wanna
you're
talk
good.
about that. I feel like that's gonna lead into a lot of things, so I do want to talk about that. But
Yeah.
the oh yeah, no, I mean I think we're gonna have to do shows sooner or later. And honestly, I'm not surprised to hear that like a place like Iowa. I guess I didn't even think about it because I'm so used to like. I mean, I'm in Milwaukee right now. That's where I live now. But I'm from Chicago, and like both places have the mask mandate. So I was just assuming that. But there's no mandate
Yeah.
out there, right? Or is there?
So there's a few cities that have it. So like Iowa City is mandated, but
Okay,
I don't think it is in Cedar Falls
probably not. I
or
wouldn't
Des
expect
Moines.
it to be honestly. I wouldn't. I mean, I'm not that I'm saying they should. I'm just like it's a smaller town. I know how this shit is
Yeah.
going. Like I see how it is in some of the smaller towns up here in Wisconsin. Like nobody's fucking listening. Like
Yeah. We also have Kim Reynolds as our governor, and she is just not. She is not the one.
no,
I'll
I
tell you
don't know.
that much.
Yeah, I don't know shit about Iowa. I gotta. Yeah, I mean, all I know from Iowa is my history going there and partying. That's all I know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, speaking of that, so since you pretty much grew up in Iowa City or in that area, it sounds like
Mhm.
you got a lot of party based music, and that makes sense to
Yeah.
me. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
So talk about your influences that come from the Iowa party scene. Like what? Like
Oh man. So Iowa, bro, it's crazy. So they're very different than like I don't know. It's very much like Iowa, like Midwest shit. But honestly, when I started making like this new music that you're talking about, like the more party based stuff like Cobra and like all that stuff, it was more recently I started hanging out with more like I guess more rich white girls, the ones that have like penthouses in the city and stuff.
okay, okay,
And so I started hanging out with them, and that's like my first like real time like trying like I mean quote unquote hard drugs like
yeah.
cocaine and Molly and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And so that was very much like I had a time like around my birthday, where I just kind of went a little crazy, like a little bender. It was fun though. Like it was, I mean, we literally had a penthouse. Like
Yeah.
each day, it was like a new drug, new girls came through.
Right.
So
I mean
so it was pretty lit.
that's real rapper
And
shit right there, bro.
yeah, exactly. And people were like, "Why do you?" Actually, my roommate was really funny when he and I first started hanging out. He was like, at first he's like, "Man, like you be rapping about like fucking all these bitches and turning up." And like I thought it was cap, and then I started hanging out with you, and I see how you live. And like it makes sense now. So yeah, I mean, I love the party scene, but at the same time, it's more when I go out these days because of COVID. I like, go out with a purpose. Like, of course, I want to go have fun, but I go out like when I have something to promote. So either like
Right.
a podcast or a show or a new video, a new song, and it's dope because a lot of the local bars and restaurants around here actually play my music,
Oh,
and it
that's
was
what's
such a
up,
really cool
dude.
feeling because I was at this restaurant called Cactus Three, shout out Cactus Three, where they play my music. But I was outside with my roommate, and this was like last weekend. We're just eating some chips, drinking some margaritas, and this car drives by just blasting one of my songs. And we looked at each
Hey.
other and we're like, ah,
Oh
just freaking
man.
out.
Bro,
And it was such a rewarding
that's
feeling.
awesome, bro. Like that's like those experiences I'm sure are like I mean that's like that's super cool. So I'm happy you're having those experiences. What's the song that gets most played of yours right now?
Well, Cobra has the most on all platforms
Like
like
what was that car
Spotify
playing
and
when they were what was that car bumping?
Cobra,
Yeah.
Cobra.
There was
Yeah,
one
but
man.
Hamptons is the one that everyone like listens to. I'm surprised that was on my top one because every time I talk to somebody, I'm like, "Yo, like, what do you think about music?" Or they just see me downtown or see me at the store. They're like, "Yo, that new song Hamptons is my favorite. You need to make more stuff like that."
That's the new one,
So
right? That's the new one, right?
yeah, it's the newest one. I got a new song dropping this weekend. I did that one with Big Show from ESD Studios.
Okay.
He's worked with like B.O.B., Kendrick Lamar, had hella big names.
He's a producer
Basically,
or an artist or
yeah, he's
both?
a producer.
Okay.
Both. His artist name is The Cubist.
Okay.
But he mainly produces, like makes beats,
Yeah,
mixes
yeah,
and
yeah,
masters.
yeah. That's what's up.
But
That's
he's out in Atlanta, and
okay.
so last summer he before he was about to move, he told me, he said, "Look, we need to get in the studio." He's like, "I really like what you're doing. I see your vision, I see your talent, but I want to make you a hit before I leave." So literally, like he took me out to dinner. We went to the studio, and he just started playing with instrumentals, started playing with stuff. We
Mhm.
found a like a beat and a like a melody, and he laid it down, and the synth was dope. He added some guitar, and we made a hit. And I
Yeah,
think it's gonna be really big. I hope it's gonna be big because we worked hard on it, and it's one of my favorite tracks I have out, or it's
yeah.
gonna be coming
It's
out.
gonna
Sorry.
be yeah. No, but that's what's up. When is that? You got a date for it and the shit?
It's the 12th. Today's the what? 20.
So that's
It's
like
supposed to be like the 29th. I think it's a Saturday or Sunday, something like that. It's
okay.
this weekend. I know that much.
Okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. Keep me posted. I'll definitely promote that shit. That's what's up, man. That's exciting shit. I was gonna say, I was listening to some of your shit before this earlier. I was really rocking with "Addicted." It was like a little weed joint for me.
Oh yeah, no, that was cool. That was a cool track because I had this beat that this producer sent me, and it was, it's very like I guess dance hall, like Latin, almost
Yeah,
reggaeton too. And I didn't know what to do with it. And I was at the studio session in Davenport at Graveyard Studios, and one of their young producers, named Nate, he's an amazing like vocalist. Like he's this white dude. Like you look at him like, wow, like you look like you might like just read comic books and play video games. But when he gets on that mic, bro, his voice is golden. The mixing is fire.
I ain't think it was a
And
white dude. I ain't think it was.
yeah,
A
I sent it to him. I sent it to him. I was like, oh, I was in the studio. I played him the beat. I was like, hey, if you want, you can like lay something over this, do a hook, whatever, do a verse. I don't really care. Just send it back to me. I'll come back next time we can, work out the rest of the song. And when he sent me that hook, bro,
yeah.
I was like, yes,
No, that hook is
y'all.
fire. That hook is fire. I mean, the whole shit's fire. I was just that was just one that slid out to me when I was smoking one before this, and I was like, that's
I
I like it.
appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, man,
I
for sure,
appreciate
man.
that.
I also appreciate you reaching out about some stuff. So that's dope. I mean, I met you at Gabe's like a couple years ago, right?
hmm Yeah, what was that, 2017?
Was that 2017? Yeah, that makes sense. That sounds about
Yeah,
right. That was yeah, back in I think that was my first show ever at Gabe's. So that was throwback.
really.
How long when did you start making music?
So I mean, I've been making music my whole life, but um, I guess so. When I was in high school, I was in like this like comedy, like parody rap group. We call
Okay.
ourselves the Pickled Beats, and that was my first like real time like just fucking around with the microphone and just working on music. And then like all my friends were just doing it for fun, and it was like four of us, and me and my friend Ben Stone, who was in the band. After like we stopped doing that stuff, we actually started trying to take it more seriously. He's actually, my song is out on all platforms called "We Gonna Party." He made
I
that
listened to
beat
that one
like
too, bro.
he made that beat on his iPad on GarageBand,
Yeah.
and like all the samples you hear, like the oh whatever, that's him like
Yeah.
using his stuff.
Yeah.
And so that was like our first real like shot at like making like actual like real, quote unquote, real music. And
Yeah.
then
Man, that's
I
funny
don't
though.
know,
I feel like a lot of people started with funny music, and I know plenty of people that have made beats on GarageBand, like on an iPad and shit. Like I know that's
yeah,
happened.
it's a
So
fire beat, dude.
I
I started
bet.
on
Yeah,
that
I
beat
mean,
for
you can
like
make beats on anything, bro. I heard that Usher, yeah, Usher. I think
yeah,
that original beat was made on GarageBand. I heard that
that's
somewhere.
dope. That's
Right.
dope. But yeah, no. So, then when I got a little older, I guess I graduated high school early,
What
and
you
when I
mean?
was
What do you
like
mean early?
a year early, like when I was 17.
Oh, is that cause you just tested out or?
I was homeschooled through high school,
Okay, okay.
but I was open enrolled, so I was able to still do like the choir because I was always really when it came to entertainment, anything I was involved. I wasn't
Yeah.
really a huge sport kid. I did a lot of theater, choir, band, all that stuff.
Okay.
All through middle school and high school, I was going to like music camps. Shout out my grandma. My grandma, she really believed in me, and she gave a lot of money each summer. Part of my birthday slash like Christmas gift was to go to like these really expensive music camps where I made a lot of my connections that I still have to this day. Uh, so
That's
I was
awesome.
very just like when it came to entertainment, like I knew that's what I wanted to do. So when I was homeschooled, I was able to tailor all my classes, they're online. I was able to tailor all my classes to basically like entertainment marketing and social media
Damn.
marketing. and stuff like that. So like when I graduated early, I already had like a step ahead of my peers because I knew what I wanted to do career wise, and I knew like what classes to take in order to make those steps to be where I am right now. And so I graduated like a year early, and from that moment, I actually got accepted into the New York Film Academy, but I turned it down, which my family was kind of mad at because like they wanted like it's a for sure thing, like you're gonna go and you're gonna be
Yeah.
around a bunch of actors and learn.
Right.
But I wanted to pursue music because at that point, I was hanging out with some people like in the city, like Novet. You know who Novet is?
I from Twitter, via Twitter, yes.
Yeah, so Novet, and like Jordan Brigette and those people who were like more established already. And I was seeing like the talent they had and the not only the talent but the drive, the passion, and like the following they had in the city.
Yeah.
And that was really inspirational to me. And I'm like, if they can do it, I can do it. And so I think I was like, yeah, 17 when I started really making my first song. Like We Gonna Party dropped. That was one of my first songs. Or no, that was one of my first songs. It was one of my first songs, one of my first good songs, I should
So
say.
that was
But I
the first recorded song that you released.
No, the first one I did was a song called "New Year, New Me." It was trash. It was
Hey man,
not good at
that's
all.
don't you don't gotta. I mean,
You can't you can't even find that song anywhere anymore because it's on SoundCloud only.
yeah,
But with that, my boy Novet, I was a fan first and foremost,
yeah,
and it's actually really funny. I met his manager just like happen chance, like through someone's Snapchat, and he was smoking on his story. I added him because it seemed funny and cool. And I was young, and I'm like, yeah, I want people to smoke with. Like this dude's funny, whatever. So I added him, and I ended up pulling up on him one day. He ended up being really cool, and then like from that point on, we started hanging like tough. He kind of ended up like mentoring me, and it turns out he was managing Novet, which I was a fan of at the time. And so that was really cool for me. And then I finally got to meet Novet, and he kind of took me under his wing, and he produced that song I just mentioned, "New Year, New Me." He produced my song "Flowing," which I did my first music video to, and then he recorded "We Gonna Party." I recorded "Pac Man" at his house, like a lot of stuff.
yeah,
So he kind of, in a way, put me on,
yeah,
or at least gave me the tools to put myself on.
yeah. That's always important to have people like that who help you musically early on, like especially early on when you just even just with like the basics, like just like knowing how to like I don't know if you do I don't know if you record yourself or not, but just knowing little shit like that or how to
Yeah.
like all that stuff. It makes I feel like that's the biggest difference is just like having some people around you who like can help you with the little shit. Like
1,000%. Yeah, and I don't know. Like I said in the beginning, I wasn't good, but like, I always knew this is what I wanted to do.
yeah,
And honestly, like I can't. I tell people like I can't really do much else. Like I'm not good at math, science. I
yeah.
can't. Like I can't. I don't know shit about cars. Like the basic shit that like I feel like men are supposed to know in order to survive in the wild. I don't really know
Yeah,
that shit.
but
I was
man,
raised by
I mean, I
all
always
women.
felt that way growing up too, because I'm a super city kid, and I was always I always just played basketball, and then just went right into
Yup.
went right into the music and acting, like went right into it. And I always felt that way, but now as I getting older, like I'm starting to, I don't know, it's not that I'm like a super handyman, but I'm starting to learn some things. I feel like, you learn
Yeah.
those things if you want to learn those things, like, or you need to. For me, and like as far as the like saying, like, bro, if you have, this is how I'm starting to feel now, because I'm starting to really feel this way. If you have the drive to pursue music or acting or film or any of these like arts thing where like literally
Yeah.
predominantly you hear no all the fucking time. I mean, yeah, you
Yup.
like, good shit happens, but you hear no all the fucking time. If you have the drive to do those things, I think that you could probably do most other things. I mean, maybe not fucking be an astronaut, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I don't know. At least that's how I'm starting to feel. Cause I'm like, man, I look at other people who like, not to disparage other jobs, but I know a lot of it is about drive.
Yeah. It really is, and that's why I tell people, like, I have a lot of people hit me up all the time, like, let me do a song with you. Let's do this. I'm like, if I check you out and I can tell you're just kind of doing it for fun, I'm not gonna work with you, to be honest. Like where
Yeah.
I am in my point in my career right now, like I need to work with people who have the same drive or higher, or like or better than me.
Yeah. I mean, that's
I'm trying to progress.
establishing those kind of like limits, I think actually is really important. I mean, I had to do things like that, but not necessarily. I mean, obviously, I mean, I'm sure you have nuance to that. I mean, it's like, that doesn't necessarily mean you feel like you like if I don't think you're better than me, then I can't work with you or anything like that. It's about like intent for me. Like, you know, like I think kind of
Yeah,
like what you're
exactly. That's what
saying.
I mean.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to come off like a
No,
dick
I
or
think you're
anything like
saying it
that.
I think you were saying it the right way. I was just trying to add on to it. Like like if I know that I like I can rely on you when I hit you up and say let's, you know, whatever it is, or let's get this record done, like then you know what I mean? I'm
Yeah,
gonna work with you. Like that, yeah, like
exactly.
yeah. I mean, that's a good attitude. I'm glad you had some people around you that were helping you out. And like, so actually, I was kind of curious. You said you went to music camps growing up. So
Yeah.
like, are you classically trained in any instruments or anything like that? Or
No, not instruments. I went for vocal and
okay,
acting.
okay. Oh,
So it was
those
a
camps did both.
yeah. So it was like the camp was called Dorian Music Camp, and it was at Luther College in Iowa. But
Oh,
it was like it's
you
one
know
of
what, dude? Sorry to interrupt. Luther College is who knocked me out of the tournament in one of my years in
oh for
college.
real.
God damn it. But go ahead, go ahead.
But yeah, no. So it was it's like an elite. It's a super elite camp. Like it's dope. Like I met people from all over. Like it's crazy because all the people that I've met who were like my friends in that camp have all like gone off to be super successful. Like one of them, this girl named Kirsten, she ended up being like Miss Iowa.
Oh shit.
My boy Alex, from I mentioned earlier, who's the actor.
Yeah.
He's out in Hollywood, living it up. But yeah, it's crazy. So I went to those camps and I was like, it was like kind of like college. Like you sign up for classes,
Hmm.
and then you have each day you get up and you go and you have this schedule. And so like in the morning I'd have like dance one,
Yeah.
and then like from like in the like from 3 to like 5, like, it would be really long, um, like choir lessons and stuff. Because the end of it was like a week long camp, and at the end of the week, uh, it was a big concert, so they had like a bunch of stuff. So it was hectic, but it was so much fun.
Man, that's great experience
So
though, it
I
sounds like.
learned a bunch about. Honestly, I learned a lot more about acting than the choir. Like the choir stuff was fun, but I was really used to that just because like that's what I've been doing my whole life in school.
So you're pretty like
But
you feel like the singing helped you when you started to rap?
yeah, definitely, it
Yeah.
definitely did. A
Yeah.
thousand percent. I'm very I don't know, I'm very like rhythmically I
Yeah.
guess like in tune.
No, I feel like that is the case. Like for a lot of people who were classic, I know a lot of people who make music now or who rap now who were in the like yeah the church choir or whatever who did or who sang at
Yeah,
church, and like a lot of that does translate to just like knowing or like being able to just come up with a good melody or like good rhythms. Like that translates a lot.
exactly. It's also like knowing what is catchy and what sounds good to other people, not just yourself.
Right. Right.
Because I feel like a lot of people just kind of put some shit together and put it out, but they don't really think about like the consumer and what they want to hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean it's about balance with all those things. I think I mean I you know what's funny that you say that because like I was thinking about some of my old shit and I think a lot of people do this. So I'm not trying to just beat up on myself. Like I do that sometimes, but I
Mm-hmm.
always use myself as an example. So I remember like I know like if I listen to like some of my old shit where I try to be really personal, sometimes I try to discern because I always did try to be personal and that's good. I'm proud of myself for that. But like I try to discern like what needed to or what needed to be said. Like what needed to be said. Like was there stuff that I was like, yeah, I don't know if that was necessary.
Yeah.
Like, like too many details or so or anything like that. But I don't know. It's a balance. It's a balance.
I think it's cool you say that because that's what I want to get better at personally. Because I make a lot of just fun music,
Hmm.
but my life story is like crazy, and I think people need to hear people need to hear this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when it comes to my music, I'm really just trying to give more real content because that's what the fans want. Now that I have that fan base
Yeah.
of people listening, now it's time to give them the real content and give them
Yeah. No, that's the most
what I
important
guess
part. Yeah.
give give them a reason to care about Benny the Jet, not just this song's fun, this song is dope. No, like why should we care about? Why should we listen to you?
Yeah.
Like what is your story? And that's what I'm trying to work on right now.
Yeah, no, that's good, man. I'm glad to hear that. But I mean, that comes with time, you know. Like I think there's also like like you're young, and that's what like you're making music about shit that you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like as long as you keep it real, you keep it real. I think that's that's what people can see that shit. Like people understand. I think more often than not, people can kind of
Hmm.
tell when shit's real.
Yeah, 1,000%. And that's why I think the cops video or the cops song in general, I think
Yeah.
was so, I guess, important because actually I wrote that verse in 2018.
Okay, I was gonna ask that. So that was written before. Yeah.
Yep. And then last summer, Obs, the guy on the song, the guy with me, he came over to my old house, and I'm like, yo, dude, like, cause he's very like conscious with his material. Like, he does a lot of spoken word. He's not really a rapper. He's
Okay.
more of a spoken word poet. That's how he would classify
You
himself.
can
He
kind of
doesn't
hear
say he's a
that.
rapper.
Yeah.
That's why it's like kind of not like traditional like rap like flow with him.
Mhm.
It's more just cadences and like you know
Yeah, you can hear that. That's how a
what
lot of spoken word guys are. Like, yeah.
yeah. And so anyways, he was at my house and I'm like, I have this verse and I have this like really soulful beat and I know like a lot of your stuff is about, black lives and those issues. I think like if you want to like write something into this, go ahead. So he literally sat at my house for like an hour and his creative process was so different than I've seen anybody else's. So he pulled out like a notebook and he just wrote down like a bunch of rhymes and like was just like it was like he was doing a crossword or something. He was like just picking the best ones out of each thing and putting it
Like he
together and
wrote
putting
just
together
the
like the
words that rhyme.
yeah like the he started out with like the structure of the like the rhythm and all that. It was so cool. Never seen anybody write like that in my whole life.
That's
But
interesting.
anyways, then we recorded it, and it took a while to record. It took like a year later to record,
Damn.
and then I just sat on it. I just sat on the song because I'm trying to be really good with my drops. And then I was like, I know, I just felt like there's gonna be a time where I'm gonna know when to drop this song. And then
Yeah.
George Floyd happened,
Yeah, no fucking kidding. You really did wait. That's yeah.
and it was like, all right, this is perfect. Like this is the moment. So I dropped it, and a lot of people like needed to hear that because I have a very large white fan base,
Yeah.
and so they were like, wow, like hearing what you're saying actually made me rethink. Like I was feeling things like just through hearing what you guys are saying, because like that shit I saying is real. Like I smoke a lot of weed to cope with the shit I go through. Like sometimes like they really don't give a fuck about my brothers. Like I say in the beginning of my verse,
Right.
and I've had my own experiences with police brutality and stuff. So yeah, it was just good timing, and so
Yeah, I'm glad
yeah.
to hear. I'm glad to hear you. Well, I mean, I wanted to get into all this, like, this video transitioning into like some of the shit that you guys did when you were protesting there in Iowa City.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it's good to hear, some younger people, and I know there's a bunch of younger people do this, and I already said this. Like, I'm proud of like to see all the young people out and doing this shit, and this shit just keeps happening, and we have to keep going through these situations, and it's fucking terrible. But it's good to hear you, and clearly, I mean, let's be honest, a predominantly white state,
Right.
predominantly white city and area, and that you guys have active voices. And it's important to note that like those protests out there were a lot of white kids that are standing up and saying that they're done with this shit too.
That's crazy because I was last weekend when I heard my song being played, like an hour later, 30 minutes later, then a protest was actually happening in Iowa City. And as they walked by us, like I was just looking to like I'll put my fist up, I'll rock with it forever. But I was
Yeah.
doing my own thing that night. I didn't even know that shit was happening, but they were
Right.
walking by, and I saw so many white faces,
Yeah.
and I'm so happy I saw so many white faces. But yeah, it's really crazy just to
Yeah.
think about like how affected these people who don't even really understand. They can never really
Yeah.
understand
Exactly.
what we go through or what the black people or what black people do go through. People of color, not just black people,
Right.
go through. And they're like, you know what? I understand that I'm not gonna understand, but this is what I'm gonna try to do. Try to make a change. Try to make my
Yeah.
voice heard for you guys because sometimes you guys don't have a voice, but my white voice is being heard. So I'm gonna use my platform to empower you guys, which is I think is beautiful.
Exactly. No, they need to like exactly. You need those people to start standing up because like they have the voices that'll reach the fucking old ass racist dudes
Yep,
because they're not listening to us anyways. They ain't like that. You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? So it's not the my rap songs that talk about police brutality and shit. Like I mean, while they're good for my audience, they're probably not getting to that guy out over there. So it's
Right.
important to have those other voices. I mean, and it's oh my god, man! I was glad we had set this meeting up. I think we set this up last week, right? We've been trying to. I
Mm-hmm.
should mention that we've been trying to do this for a couple
Yeah.
months, and
Yeah.
I was
Just
switching.
timing. That's
Yeah,
all it was. It was
right.
just timing.
Thank you for being patient with all that, and but I'm glad we set this particular one up because we set it up last week, and then this weekend, fucking Jacob Blake happens, right? 40
Yeah.
miles away from where I'm at, and we don't have to make the
Oh
whole.
no way.
Yeah, because I mean that's Kenosha. I
Yeah.
mean, it's still not. It's still a little bit away, but it's just. I mean that shit. I we saw that video the night of, and that was just so fucking brutal. But just that it lined up having you on because you just released that video where we are speaking up. I mean, I just think us as artists, you know, I'm not saying we have to be, I don't know what the responsibility is. I just felt like the responsibility is to speak up through what we do. So like you've done that, and I think I've tried to do that myself. So I think that's, you know, that's what we should do probably.
Mm-hmm. I mean, honestly, I know that there's like, as one person, you can't really do much, but when you have a platform, you have a force behind you. That's when you can really make a change.
Mhm.
And so I knew that like when all these protests were really popping off, like in Des Moines and Iowa City and all over Iowa, that's when I took it upon myself to then like put the information out, like how to donate to these, getting the protesters out, like the bail fund, the Iowa
Yeah,
bail fund. And me and my best friend John, we actually we raised like $3,000 in like 3 days,
man.
and sent all that shit in. And I don't even really talk about that. I don't like get like public like that on social media. It's
No.
just something I really wanted to do because I knew I had that platform. And a lot of
Yeah.
people who follow me, like I said, are white. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know how to donate. They didn't know
Yeah.
what they could do to contribute because they were disgusted by what they were seeing on social media, like the George Floyd and
Right.
uh Breonna Taylor, all these people, and man, I don't even want to get on Breonna Taylor. Like those cops need to be arrested. That shit pissing me the fuck off. But
No, it's brutal. All these ones, and I mean, I'm surprised that they haven't arrested the cop from this weekend yet. Because this, shit, I can't believe it was the most obvious fucking thing I've ever seen.
yeah,
It's just, I don't know how much more obvious these videos have to be. It's fucking crazy. It really is.
yeah,
But like,
yeah. Sorry.
no, you're
Got
good.
distracted.
I mean, like, what's funny is it's funny is like a video like that, and I'm not like this is not a show where we get political. I talk. I mean, actually, this show is whatever the fuck it is. I just talk. But
I've seen some of your episodes.
right, yeah. Oh well, thank you. But like it's funny. Like so now, like watching like a video like that, and you see this thing that should just be blatantly, obviously wrong. Like nobody should have an argument
Yeah.
for it. But somehow it becomes like almost political, and like people pick teams, and it's like, what the fuck are you picking a team about with this?
hmm I mean, if you remember, like, I mean, obviously, I wasn't alive back then, but obviously, I do my research. Like with the Rodney King stuff, those
Yeah.
cops on video got
Yeah.
acquitted.
No fucking kidding. No fucking kidding. But
That
that
was in 1980, whatever,
but
90, whatever.
that was
it
like 90, but that was like 30 years ago. And you would hope that but no. God damn, man. Like, well, you know, we just gotta keep but you know the thing is I try to remember, and my mom has told me this, and I've had other friends actually tell me this too, is especially since I'm somebody who puts out content. I'm not saying I have a huge platform, but I put out content, so there's a responsibility there. In my
Yeah.
opinion, especially since I'm white. I mean, I'm Hispanic too, but I'm white, and like I make a black genre of music. You know what I'm saying? So like,
Yeah.
like I actually think, to be honest with you, like for white rappers, I'm like, yo, if you all of a sudden got quiet, if you were posting every fucking day a lot, and then all of a sudden you got quiet, I don't know, man. I don't know. That's not cool, but whatever. Well, I mean,
That's kinda how I,
go ahead.
no, that's kind of how I felt. Like this is a different topic, but it's how kind of felt how I feel about the whole Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion situation too. The silence in the hip
Yeah,
hop culture with that is just
that's
almost
true.
disgusting. It's like disgusting.
That's
Like
true.
everybody has something to say until it's Tory. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
If it was any other rapper, we'd be on his ass. Let's cancel Tory. Let's you'd
yeah.
see it everywhere.
Well,
But
there's a lot of things that
because
go into that. I think first off it's men, women. Second off, I think it's just the business and the
yeah,
industry.
exactly,
Like people
exactly.
don't want to burn bridges, and they're like scared to. I don't know. I saw Bun B the other day just say "fuck Tory Lanez."
Yeah, I know. Ti spoke up about it too. But before that, like no one was saying anything, especially like white artists. I haven't heard shit. I haven't heard shit from G Easy, which I kind of want to hear what he has to say about it
He
because
said a
he
lot.
made it.
Yeah, I haven't heard him anything about the tour. Oh yeah, because he has a song. Yeah, right.
Yeah, they used to be a couple, so I don't know. I don't know, man. I just wish that I heard more about it. And uh, we were actually just watching the podcast, and they're talking about like it has everything to like people just don't care. There's a lot of other shit going on. People just don't care. Which
Bro,
that's it.
this whole year, I feel like they're just throwing stories at us, and people are like
Yeah,
deflecting, and then some are sticking, but only for like 2 days, and then they're throwing them away. Like there's just stories everywhere. There's just
yeah. 2020 is a clusterfuck.
no kidding. I mean, dude, they admitted to us that there was
Uh,
fucking aliens basically, and then nobody even
yeah,
cared.
I saw about that. I saw about that shit too. We have a UFO task force now.
Yeah, I
I
mean
saw that.
they just admitted it. I mean I mean I love that that's even a thing now, and I really do love that people can openly have these conversations. Because who gives a fuck? Why not?
Yeah. But yeah, sorry, I got off on a different page. But yeah, back to what you were saying.
Oh
Sorry.
no, this show is about getting off on different pages. That's all. That's all this
Okay, for
is.
sure.
Do you have? By the way, do you have any? I don't have any. Do you have any time constraints or anything like that? I don't want to keep you
No,
too
no,
long.
you're good. You're good.
Okay, all right, good. Well, that's good to know because sometimes, like, then these tangents can happen, and I don't give a shit where they go.
Yeah.
All right. So what was I saying here? I don't know. Oh, Meg Thee Stallion, and the Tory Lanez situation. I don't know. I
Yep.
do feel like a lot of people like for instance, you said like the Jeezy thing. If you already have a song, wait, somebody took. Oh, Kalani took him off her song, I think.
Saw that. I saw that.
And so I
I
think,
do like how the women are standing. The women in the hip hop culture are standing together, standing with Meg, and they're like, no, like we're not gonna be like my song with him down. Like we're not gonna be putting up with this because, like, honestly, it'd be such a horrifying situation. Like imagine being in Meg's shoes.
for sure.
Imagine being in that situation, then having the cops come, especially in this heated time where police are just shooting every black person they can,
Yeah.
and then you're both famous. There's a gun involved. Like, I
No.
get why she didn't speak up initially, but I'm really glad she spoke out. I'm glad that the women in hip hop are speaking out now and helping her and being there for her, standing with her,
Yeah,
because
and
that's so
yeah,
important.
and to add on to that, the people that are saying like, I've heard because I've seen a couple of people tweet like, she should have known when she started dating somebody with the nickname Demon Time or whatever. Like that's a bullshit fucking excuse. Like I don't need to
Yeah,
hear that shit. Like
there's no excuse for
no,
shooting a woman.
are you fucking kidding me?
I mean, unless she's like trying to shoot you and be threatening to you or your family, there's no reason to shoot a woman, especially when she just wanted to leave.
No,
Shot her in both feet because she wanted to leave. That's
yeah.
psychopath.
So is that exactly what happened? I didn't hear her whole thing. I know she admitted that he did actually shoot her rather than it was
Yeah,
like glass. But like, is that what it was? Like they were arguing she was gonna leave and he shot her feet.
yeah. She was saying that she wanted to leave, she wanted to get out of the car, whatever. And then he shot her, or basically he was like, "You're not gonna leave." He shot her, and then the cops. And then I think after he shot her, he left in his separate vehicle. If I'm understanding
What the
correctly, I could be wrong,
fuck?
but he left, and then Meg got pulled over, and then you've probably seen the footage of her being, walking backwards as the blood slowly dripping from her feet as there's a helicopter above,
Yeah.
and that's why she didn't say anything at the time because like how she explained it was there's a helicopter flying over us. There's like squad car after squad car behind me. They're asking me to walk backwards with my hands in the air. There's blood dripping out of my feet. This is a bad situation.
No, and
Like,
in all honesty, I don't and I think that's another bullshit excuse for people who say who like well, she should have admitted it at first or whatever. Like that's bullshit too. Because if you're not empathetic enough to put yourself in somebody's footsteps, it's not that
yeah,
fucking easy to just admit that story right there. I completely get why you would be like, maybe you don't want to deal with the whole. I mean, I don't know. I'm not saying. I'm just saying like there's a lot of things that come with. First off, the trauma that comes with that moment. Like it's not gonna be.
exactly.
Yeah, like. And then you got to call out somebody that you were like close with before anyway. So that's a complicated mess right there too.
And then I mean they're both such big like targets in the public eye too. So it's just a lot of things. And I know she was saying because, like I said earlier, because they're both black, that's why she didn't talk to the police. Because like
Yeah.
Meg Thee Stallion, when it comes to her as a person, I think I see she's very much about the street code.
Yeah.
She's very much we don't fuck with police. We don't talk about that. And yeah, like I love her mentality to be honest. And I wasn't surprised she didn't speak out about it, especially as she explained why. And
No,
yeah, but
I
like I
mean,
said, I'm
yeah.
glad that she has now. We understand what's going on, and I don't like. I honestly hope that like don't get me wrong. I think he's a very talented person. I have a remix of one of his songs on my SoundCloud,
Which
but
song? Which song?
broke leg.
Okay. Okay. I don't know if I
Yeah.
know that, but
But it's the one with Tyga and Quavo on it.
okay.
But yeah, I think his music's dope as fuck. I think he's a great talent. But as a person, like, and that's the other thing too. When it comes to artists, like, when do we separate the artist from their music?
Yeah, man,
You know
this
what I
is the
mean?
tough. This is a very. I mean, this is the tough battle. You talk R. Kelly, you talk Michael Jackson, you talk all these
Yep.
guys, and how do you separate it? It's a tough. I don't know if there's an easy answer for that question. The Tory Lanez one is is he? I don't know. It's simpler because he's not as big as those guys, but
Yeah,
and he is talented. And I like his music. Shit, his music comes up on my Spotify, and I usually have it playing.
yeah,
But now you do second guess it and second think it and wonder. I don't know if he will have as long of a career because of this. I don't know, but I don't know. I mean, I can kind of let the songs. I think it's like maybe it's the severity of what has happened. Like I really don't
yeah.
listen to like. I guess I don't listen to R. Kelly anymore like I used to. I mean, I didn't know. I actually we made sure that he wasn't on our wedding playlist. Like we were like, you can't put him on
Nice.
there. So I mean, like, and that was so egregious. Part of that is that I watched that documentary too. So once you like know the shit, you're like, what the
Yep.
fuck?
Yeah, dude, that documentary definitely like changed my whole. I wasn't even a huge R. Kelly fan to begin with,
Well, I'm from
but I
Chicago,
mean,
so I mean, like,
no, yeah,
yeah,
he was in
like,
Kenwood, all that. That's like a hometown hero almost, or used to be, up there with like Kanye and.
yeah. And I mean, he like Kel's had so many hits, and it's like, well, does that mean we never play his songs again? I mean, I think yeah, I mean, I guess you make your own personal decision. Everybody makes their own personal decision, but for me, it was kind of a yes, I guess.
I personally, I don't know, because when it comes to that listening to songs, you also gotta understand you are like paying him,
Right,
like the
exactly.
streams do add up, so you're
Yeah.
technically supporting him and his
No,
his ventures. But
that is the thing
when
right
it
there.
comes to
Yeah.
Michael Jackson, though, but when it comes to Michael Jackson, I personally like. I'll just say this: I don't care if you disagree with me. I personally don't think he touched those little boys. I've been a Michael Jackson fan my whole life. With the open mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna go in there and be biased. Like, I want to hear what these people are saying. But then when I watched it and just like then studied it afterwards and like the body language, the inconsistencies in their stories,
Yeah.
and especially like with Wade Robson, who was one of the guys who claimed that he molested him. Like if you look at the timeline, that shit's fucked because like Michael Jackson literally set Wade up with like his niece, like they were dating like
Okay.
for a while, and his niece, Michael's niece, spoke up about it and was like, no, like I don't understand why Wade's doing this, but a lot of people are saying because he's tried to sue the state, Michael Jackson's state, multiple times since his death, and each time he the tribute to her, he's really upset about that, and so with him and his family, you can really tell from the get go, it's really been about the money.
Yeah.
Um,
I think
and
I
I
had
just
heard
don't
that
trust that
about that
dude.
guy too. I think I had heard that. I to be honest haven't watched Finding Neverland. Is that what it was called, right?
Leaving
Oh,
Neverland.
Leaving Neverland.
Leaving
Finding Neverland, I
Neverland.
think is the real Peter Pan movie, right? No, I haven't.
Yeah, that's like yeah.
I haven't seen that, and I honestly I haven't done enough research. I don't like I haven't picked a side like you have, and you seems like you've done your work. I think there's always two sides to all these things, and it's definitely possible both ways. I mean, we don't. There's no way to know. But to go back to your original question was
Yeah.
can
No one knows.
yeah no one knows, but can we discern even if we did know? So let's go to your original question. Even if we did know, can we
Hmm.
differentiate the art
Yeah.
from the
Let's say he
guy?
did it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, can we do it? I don't know. What do you think?
I think I I think with Michael, he was just such a he was such an influential artist
Right.
when it came to music. Like we wouldn't have half of the artists we have out here being successful with their sound and with their come up if it wasn't for Michael, like the Ushers, the Chris Browns,
Yeah.
the just like a lot of Britney Spears. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people he really put on. Like even like some of the songs today, like "A Boogie with the Hoodie" has that song. Look back at it. That samples a Michael Jackson
Yeah.
song.
Well, Drake had that big.
Like
Drake had
the
that
ones
big
like
song
"My
too.
Life." Yeah, yep,
Yeah.
yep. So like, just a
Yeah. I
lot of
mean,
things that we wouldn't have a lot of our favorite artists without Michael.
no, it's true. I mean, I mean, you can make somewhat of those claims for Kells too. But I mean, so I guess the question, I guess, so industry wise, we pretty much have been like, fuck it, don't worry about it, just play the music. But nowadays, they're kind of starting to, I think Spotify took down some of
Yeah.
the some shit. So I don't know. It's everybody's personal decision. That's how it is.
Well, they're back. They're back on it though, because I know they have an event coming up actually on Michael Jackson's Spotify. It's like some famous DJ. Who is it? I don't remember. Some famous DJ is DJing like on Michael. Like they have an event for Michael. I think it's like Labor Day weekend. They're gonna have like a Michael Jackson special event on Spotify
Yeah.
with like a bunch of different like celebrities and stuff. So like honestly, like with the whole Michael Jackson situation, he was acquitted of all charges 2 times.
Yeah.
When you look at the fact, like he's innocent when it comes to the legal aspect of it. And then, like I said, I've done my research, and
Yeah.
like a lot of the facts they said in that documentary, like just could be like disproven easily. Like the whole he's one of the other boy, not Wade, but the other boy said that Michael would molest him in the train station at Neverland. But when he said that happened, the train station was even in construction at that in that year. He said it happened. So like
Yeah.
I don't know. Also, Michael Jackson was just the biggest name ever.
Yeah,
There's
no, no. I mean,
no one else.
I'm with that too. Like his music just is so important. I mean, and like honestly, like you said, like if he's acquitted legally, what else do you want from him for his music to live? I kind of the more I think
Yeah,
about it, like the more these things come out to me, I'm like, man, what a shame. I guess unless you're not, I guess unless you're, I mean, you're a serial killer or something. I mean, no, I'm not even trying to differentiate the crime. I just want to say
yeah,
people are flawed. What a shame that we have to lose out on some art because of it. So I don't know. I kind of feel like art is almost separate. Their ideas, they're like almost separate from what that person did. That person needs to be punished for if they've done what they've done. But like,
definitely.
I don't know. I feel like art. I don't know. I'm really mixed on this, to be honest with
Me
you.
too.
Like,
Yeah, because I don't want to be like, oh yeah, like yeah, he might have did this, but the art's great. Because like you do have to give them that responsibility, like that is on them, and like I guess it's up to the listener. It really depends on your own situations too.
yeah,
I don't. If someone says they hate Michael Jackson, I'm a fan, but I'm not gonna be like, fuck you, bro. Like I respect that opinion. Like there's a lot of people who have been abused and feel a certain type of way about that situation
that's
just hearing
true.
those
Yeah,
stories. So like you can't discredit their opinions because of that,
yeah,
just because you feel a certain type of way. So it really is on, I guess, the listener. And
yeah,
he's gone now, and I don't know, the whole speaking ill on the dead, like that doesn't sit right with me.
for sure.
He was acquitted twice, and he went through his own hell, and now he's gone, and hopefully he's in a better place. But you know, it's I don't know, it's a tough situation
Yeah, no, I
for
feel you, and
sure.
that's a really empathetic way to look at it because I think you're right. I mean, that's why music is subjective; it's not objective. It's super. You make personal decisions
Art
because,
art is subjective
yeah, of
in
course,
general.
yeah, of course. That's why I hate. That's why I kind of, and I really didn't want to make this podcast like a music review podcast because I kind of hate music reviews because it's like that's just your opinion. You can't just say a song is good. Like,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
people make a blatant statement like this is just tear or whatever it is, and it's like, well, to you, like that's not how it
hmm
works. It's not how art
Yeah, that's
works.
what I'm saying. Like, someone could be like, "Yeah, man, your song's trash," but that song might have resonated with somebody all the way in like Cuba, and
Hmm.
that person is like listens to that every day. It helps them become a better person. You know what I'm saying, or a better artist, or whatever the situation is.
Yeah,
So, like you said, art is subjective, and it's really like a painting, like
yeah.
an abstract painting. Somebody could look at the painting and be like, "Oh, that's a bunch of colors on a canvas." Somebody else might see that and see the beauty, see all the the wonder and the different things they can see in that painting. It's like why just because you don't see it, like don't put someone else down
Yeah,
because they see
man.
something
That's
different. You know what I
no,
mean?
man. 100%. Like, and I mean, you put it into words in a great way because that's exactly how I feel. Like, almost like a movie is so important. Like, when you read a movie review and it's like, oh, maybe this guy was just in a bad mood when we watched the movie or something like that. That's how I feel about
Yeah.
music too. Like, actually, going back to like how you said you had a mentor. One of the dudes who taught me a lot about music is an artist from Chicago by the name of Amir Tripp. So shout out to the homie. But I remember him telling me like when we were talking about music and just I think we were just in the studio or some shit, and him telling me like for him like it was like music is just a feeling. Like I'm just trying to create the feeling, and like that
Yeah.
always stuck with me because for me that's how I kind of view it too. So like uh if you just are creating that feeling and you just leave it out there, that's kind of how I feel it. Like that's what the music is. That's what that song is. It's just it is that. It is that manifestation of that feeling or that emotion or whatever it is.
Yeah. And how can you tell somebody their emotion or feeling is invalid?
For
You know what I
real.
mean?
People do it all the time, but
That's not your place to speak.
yeah.
Yeah, I know they do, but that's not. I don't think that's like your place to speak at all when
Yeah.
it's someone else's emotions and feelings.
No,
But
I agree. And
yeah,
I think I've done that. I try to think of back because I feel I've had that same thought and I feel like I've done this too. So I don't want to be like, I feel like when I was younger, I probably did say like when somebody said, oh, I feel hurt. And then I probably was like, how could you feel? Or like, I'm like, no, you can't. Like, and now as I get older, I'm like, well, no, okay, why? Like, yeah, like,
Yeah. I mean, like my actually, it kind of touches back on what we were just talking about with the Black Lives Matter stuff. But when my cops video dropped, I sent it to my mom, and I was adopted, so I come from a very white family, very Republican family,
okay,
and that's caused like a lot of
yeah, I could
I guess
see, yeah,
turmoil and like separation in my relationships with my family. But so I was like, I sent it to my mom, and I was like, "Will you send this like to my aunts, like her sisters and stuff?" And she was like, "Yeah, I'll send it to them." But like, to be honest, they probably won't really like it or whatever because it's rap. I'm like, it's not about rap. It's about the message I'm trying to put out there. It's about the art. And she was saying, well, you gotta understand, like people might have different like reasons to like they think like that music like will trigger them. I'm like that's kind of like saying that I don't know. It's weird because some people are just so against rap because they're used to like the early days of rap with like NWA and Eminem and
right,
all that stuff, like the very misogynistic and
yeah,
just homophobic like culture. How it really kind of like not how it started, but how like what they remember. And so they just wrote off rap as a whole genre.
yeah.
And I'm like that's really sad that they put it all in one group or one box because of these situations. Because like I want them to listen to the message. Don't even think about like the rap, like the genre. Think about what I'm saying. Like that's
Yeah.
why it's a lot. It's not like it's like a catchy song, but it's not like something you like just hum all day. It's just more meant to like get my point across. And my mom was saying that like you got to think about like people's own experiences when it comes to that stuff because you never know what they went through to make them not like that sound or whatever. So like I said, you just never know what people went through. And I was kind of mad. I'm like that's kind of bullshit, but at the same time, she is right in a way.
Yeah, no, I mean it because it goes both ways. So like, yeah, if we're talking about how you can't judge somebody's feeling, then if they're feeling that way, then you know what, that's valid. I don't think it's um yeah, I mean it's valid, but it still can boggle our minds too. I mean, because I mean like a basic I mean like just saying Black Lives Matter shouldn't be controversial, but it's just becoming
Yeah,
like it's just such a basic statement that shouldn't be. There should be no controversy. There should be no argument or whatever it is. But people have such a background with all this now because there's such a like driving force that goes in opposite ways. Everybody's just picking teams, which is so frustrating. Um,
mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people, especially nowadays, with how many people are posting on fucking Facebook, which is like, go on Facebook if you
Oh
want to find
yeah,
out which cousins or uncles or aunts of yours are racist. Go
yep,
ahead. And to
yep,
go, you know what?
yep,
I'm really glad you said about the stigma of rap because to be honest, I really struggled with that early on, especially being like a white rapper. Like, I don't know, it was something I had to deal with too, but I think there is racial implications behind that too. People's judgment of it early on, there is racial implications behind that. There just is no doubt. And whatever, that just is the elephant in the room, I guess. Like it's just
yeah. No, it's actually like it's crazy that we're talking about this because all like everything we said all comes like full circle. Because so like I'm headlining Voodoo Lounge on Thursday. And so the first time I was booked there, my friend Raina, she's the one who booked me, and she's what is her nationality? It's fuck, it's not Lebanese. It's man, I don't know, but she's not white. And anyways, she was very much like her drive when it came like the hip hop Thursdays there at that venue was like to really put the artists on. They really want to give the artists a voice because like it's all local artists and stuff.
okay.
And her goal with that was just to make for one the artists feel real special and heard and have a great night and have a great show. And then she actually told me recently that she's walked out. She walked out of her job because her boss um she wanted to put up like Black Lives Matter. She's like as an establishment, we need to say that like we stand with them. Like that's really
Yeah.
important to her. And she was like, oh, like her boss apparently was like, oh, we don't need to do that. Why would we need to do that? It's like because this is very important. And when it comes to Hip Hop Thursdays, apparently like her boss had said that like it brings in the wrong crowds, which is black people
Yeah, no,
because
that
it's
is
hip hop.
that's what people have said forever. Like that's what booking people have said forever, and that is exactly what they mean when you say that. Yes.
Yep. And so like yeah, she walked out. And actually, when I booked this show, I didn't even know that was no longer with that venue. I'm not saying like I don't have any like personal issues with them at all. I don't know the new management at all, but just from what she said, like I like her reasoning. Like I understand why she walked out. I understand, and she was a little mad at me for doing the show on Thursday. But I'm like, look, I have fans there.
Yeah.
I am still artist. I'm still gonna bring my crowd, whether or not the white people there like it. I'm still gonna come up, turn the fuck up, have a great night, show out for my fans, and let them
Yeah.
be mad. You know
Turn
what I
the
mean?
fuck up. I mean,
Exactly.
that's what I think is important in this controversial time. I hope for is that like, look, it's important for your friend to make the stance that she made, but I think it's important for us all to let everybody else make their personal choices in these battles because
Yeah.
like it's not easy for everybody to just quit their job because their boss is racist. Like that's not, I mean, everybody, it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love her so much because like she doesn't let her morals be at all like pushed to the side in any situation.
Yeah.
She's the kind of person who will like be very outspoken, and sometimes like you're like like I'm with her and she's out here this, but like everything she's saying is very valid and it's very important to be said, and just some people are sensitive and they don't want to listen to it because it makes them feel uncomfortable.
Ain't
But
that
that's
the
why I love her,
truth?
because she's not afraid to make people uncomfortable.
Hey, preach. You got to have people like that around you. So ain't that the truth?
Exactly.
Oh man. So wait, real quick. There's a couple things I wanted to say before. I don't know, before whatever. But like, so you turn the fuck up. You're gonna turn the fuck up this Thursday. Music wise, is there any so who? I got two questions. Who inspired you? Like, or like, what kind of musical inspirations? I think you kind of said Michael Jackson was one of them, but if you got a couple others, or just like hip hop wise,
Huge
maybe.
inspiration.
What'd you say? Sorry, it broke up a little bit.
When I started like writing and stuff, like started doing my music. Oh,
No, you're
can
good.
you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
Okay. I would say like Gambino. Gambino's a huge one.
Love Childish. Yeah. Huge Gambino
Uh,
fan. Yeah, he
not
switches
just
back
because
and
of his,
forth with singing a little bit too, which is good.
yeah, not just because he's like his rapping or whatever, but like him as like as a creative is super inspiring to me, because I also have that acting background. He's on Community. He has Atlanta,
Yeah,
Lion King, all the stuff he's done, all his ventures in acting. Plus, he's able to, every time he drops music, he's not on social media very much, but every time he drops, we all tune in.
yeah.
Same with like Frank Ocean and yeah. So Childs for sure. Let me think.
I
Right now
mean,
I'm
I
getting
really like
out.
that
I'm
you
trying to
said.
think.
I like that you said because that's kind of my. First off, Gambino is a huge inspiration for myself because I like you, which keep meaning to ask you about the acting stuff, and then we go off on other tangents. But I want to ask you about that because I have some of that in me too. Not as long as you, but Gambino is one of those huge influences for me too because it's like people always tell you like, hey, you got to just hone in. Or for me, they always would be like, hey, why don't you just pick one of these and focus or whatever. And he's one of those guys who has let me at least be like, well, look, I can do a lot of things that inspire me, and just as long as I try and do them
Yeah.
as good as I can.
I mean, especially when you're creative, like if you are a true creative at heart, there's never gonna be a time where you're not working on something.
Yeah,
Whether it's music, acting, writing a script, fucking directing something. Like even if people don't know about it, you're
yeah,
always working on something,
yeah,
because you can't escape it, regardless whether you put it out or not. If that's truly who you are as a person, like you're gonna always be creating,
yeah,
and that's why I love him. Like he's done stand up, movies, music,
yeah,
soundtracks, all this stuff. Like that's so inspiring to me.
yeah. No, for sure, I feel the same way. And then the Frank Ocean thing, how he just first off he makes awesome music, but how
Right.
he just still drops some shit like you said, like you don't have to post nothing on social media and then you just drop some shit. That's like the dream, bro. Like,
Yeah. I honestly like I'm good at social media just 'cause, like I said, I took a lot of classes.
yeah,
I'm not like the best at social media, but I'm definitely like one of the better ones when it comes to like local artists and stuff. Just
yeah,
I feel like I personally am good at like branding myself and getting my name out there and stuff. But if it wasn't for my career, I probably would have deleted my social media a long time ago.
yeah. I mean,
But like
I think it's unhealthy. Yeah,
and like it becomes almost an obsession. I've been obsessed with social media
yeah,
for a long time, and recently, like as I've gotten older, I realized that's just really not important. I mean, it is important. Don't get me wrong, but it's not important. It shouldn't really affect your I guess your day to day, and it really does take a toll on your mental health too. Like when you are putting out content and you get all these the haters
Yeah.
saying this shit, because like all day, like I could get 1,000 good comments saying we love your stuff, but like that one motherfucker who was like, "You're trash. Don't quit your day job." It's like all right,
That's the one that
but
sticks out.
sometimes
Yeah.
yeah, sometimes I can just brush it off. I'm used to that shit now. But sometimes that shit does like actually affect you, and it does
Yeah.
affect your mental health.
Yeah, no, I
And like
mean, it's yeah. Like, well, first off, like no matter what, we're just like with everything. I feel like even if you're playing sports, you make 10 shots, the one you miss, you're gonna always think about that one you missed. Like it just
yep,
always, we're just like
exactly.
programmed that way. But social media wise, especially like because you're just constantly comparing yourself to other things, you don't know what's real. It's definitely not healthy. And then us as artists, I feel like the excuse always is, well, I need to do it for work, for business or whatever. And like that's true, but like it's like everything. It's like balance. You can't do it too much because I've been caught in that same cycle.
Yeah, like this whole like few weeks have been like stressful as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, because like I said, just dropped a music video. Um, I a couple weeks ago I did a podcast. It's called the Sexy Housewife Pod. And then I got the show on Thursday.
Oh
So like
shit.
it's
Hold
constant like
on, yo.
promotion, promotion,
Hold on,
promotion.
hold on, hold on.
You're good.
Sorry, you kind of broke up, and I don't want to. While you were promoting what you were promoting right there, I want to make sure you get it. All right.
You're
Now you
good.
sound good. So wait, you got so say what you got coming up again, like you just.
Oh, so what I was saying was like it's been stressful because I just dropped that music video Cops, which is out on YouTube. I'm dropping the song this weekend. I have the show on Thursday. I just did a podcast on the Sexy Housewife podcast, and then I have this with you today. And
Yeah,
so like this whole few weeks have just been stressful because it's a lot of time on my phone. Like literally
yeah,
when I dropped that video on Friday, I literally my phone blew up. I had like 238 like Snapchats,
yeah.
all
God
wanting to see that
damn.
video.
God
I just had
damn.
to I just had bro. I literally had to just turn my phone off for a minute and just like go out and socialize and
Yeah,
get a drink like straight up. I had to go get a drink. I was like, dude, I'm gonna check this later. I was showing my roommate. I'm like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, I don't
yeah,
want to be in genuine to anybody who is like giving me honest like good feedback. But at the same time, when you're going through so many snaps and so many comments and emails and all that stuff of DMs of just like great stuff, it's like to be honest, when there's like so much of it, it's kind of hard to really be as sincere as I want to be
Oh, for
because
sure, dude. Why do you think
like they
some celebrities just choose not to respond? I mean, they respond when they can. I think some of them are
yeah.
genuine, but like you just saying, man, that takes a mental toll. I'm sure.
And so like yeah, so like I've been just stressed out with the social media aspect of it because like I said, I have to promote my stuff. That's how I make my money. I
Yeah.
don't have a day job. My job is being Benny the Jet, selling my brand, basically selling myself.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, how long have you been just doing like the entertainment shit? Like, did you have a job like before? Like, when did
well
you?
like so for a while it was just that, but it really wasn't making a lot of money. So I went to McDonald's for a bit, and
Yeah,
I actually got fired from McDonald's because this customer came in and he was very very misogynistic to a couple of my employee or my employees, my coworkers, and it was a bad day to be misogynistic. Like I was
yeah,
just not having anybody's shit. So I was like, look, man, like you don't need to do that right here. And he like apparently he was like crazy, and I wasn't really like warned about this man
yeah.
by my management. So like apparently he's just the kind of guy who like will want to start a fight just to get free shit from the corporation.
Oh
You know what I'm
no.
saying? He wants
Yeah,
to look for a reason that something's wrong with the order or their employees, something's wrong with the employees, so he can complain and get free food.
for real.
So I was like, look, because he got mad at somebody because like they didn't put the lid on the coffee like tight enough, and he's like basically just saying like they were like incapable of doing their job and calling him stupid. I'm like, look, I'm like, you're not gonna be doing this. He's like, what do you say to me? He's basically trying to like talk down to me
Of
because I was
course,
serving
yeah.
him. I'm like, look, I'm not the one. I was like, it's a fucking coffee. And he's like, you want to take this outside? You want to take this outside? I was like, I almost jumped over the counter and fought this dude because like he was just testing me. But anyways, I got fired from there, and then I was like, all right, this is why I'm a rapper.
Yeah. No, that's what's
And so
up.
I just started really pushing my music more, and then I started booking more shows, and yeah, just really, I guess once I really started putting more music on, like just show kid and seeing that revenue come back with my streams,
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, this is what I can do. This is what I need to do. I just need to work on my branding more. Like I can be successful. I can live off that if I do put the time and effort into it. That's why a lot of people they aren't cut out for that shit or cut out for the music like they think they are because they don't actually have what it takes. Like they don't have the like the out of the tough skin to push through the hate
Right.
or they don't want to commit their time daily to promotion and stuff and all that. But
No, it's super
yeah, so
true.
I've been I guess self-employed as you'd say since like November
Okay.
of 2019.
That's what's up though, because
Yeah,
like even if it, I mean, just to be able to say to do that is like that's what every artist wants to do. You know what I'm saying? So like
yeah,
that's the goal, that's the dream. Honestly, like that's always been mine. I'm like, shit, if I could just make it off this, but like doing acting too, like those are just sporadic gigs, so you really don't know. But now
yeah,
music, I mean, like you can make money off stream if you own your shit and like you know how to get
mhm,
a fan base and like you said, man, music is like a small, unfortunately, I mean the music matters, but it's a smaller percentage of what how successful you are in this industry, like
yep,
and
very true.
and it's
That's why
yeah.
that's why a lot of artists like around here, like, dude, I've been in the rap game 3 years, like solid, well, 3 years,
Yeah.
and I've already had three diss tracks about me.
For real? The fuck?
Yeah, the it's really funny. Like one of them was literally just on some jealous shit because this rapper asked me for a feature. I told them I charged, and they didn't like that,
Yeah.
and so they made a diss track about me. The other one was on some business shit that me and this person had a falling out. We opened up for the baby together. We did Polo G. I put him on my futuristic show. I opened up for futuristic and stuff, and then basically kind of stabbed me in the back. Was like he basically called me dumb for like considering him a friend because he was like for him it was just business, and that's kind of it was a lesson to me because I was like,
Yeah.
all right, and like I don't know if you saw what Trippie Red was saying the other day with KSI, but it was like you gotta understand like this rap shit is just business.
Yeah.
Like there's not really room for friendship. There is room for friendship, but once you mix friendship with business, it's when things start to get hectic. That's why you see so many groups fall out, like the YBN motherfuckers. Shoreline Mafia just broke up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
So
it's hard. It's hard. Like you said, mixing business with like family or friends like is very difficult, especially in the music business. This happens all the fucking time.
yeah,
I mean, you can make it work, but yeah, it's gotta be very transparent.
they gotta be solid. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You gotta have a solid trust and foundation. Like I don't know, like that's why like the Migos, like I feel like that's why they've been so successful because they're literally
Yeah,
family.
they're
They're
family.
literally
Yeah.
family.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel like about Outkast kind of too. I mean they're not family, but they're like basically brothers. I mean they've known each other forever. Like
Yeah,
those kind of groups. Yeah, when you have that like backstory, like that can last. That's man. What's up? The fuck's up with the Iowa scene? Everybody's hating.
I don't know, dude. I think it's just like that's what. Oh, yeah, that's what I was trying to say. I totally forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, it's just like I understand that like I'm not the most talented rapper. Don't get me wrong. I make fun music. My flow is not like the best flow, but it's catchy. You know, people like
Yeah.
it. I'm good at promoting myself. I'm good at branding, and I have a good personality. And like, I'm successful for other reasons than just the music,
Right.
like you were saying. And that's why a lot of people feel type of way because there are other people who are like quote unquote more talented than I. Like they have better flows. They can freestyle for hours. Like I'm an okay freestyler, but like there's better people. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I mean it just goes
And
back.
that's
Yeah.
why they get in their feelings. They're like, oh, no, they just get in their feelings because they're like, oh, this person is so much more successful than I am, but I'm more talented. But
Yeah.
then they get salty, and then it becomes that whole like jealousy, hate, and then
Yeah.
turns into beef. And I'm personally not like with that beef shit. Like I don't get me wrong, I do feel a certain like entitlement in my own city at times, but as of recently, like it's not even worth it. Like
No.
let's just all create. If you don't fuck with
Yeah.
me, you don't have to fuck with me. That's
There's
fine.
bigger
I'm gonna
issues.
continue to do
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah, there's bigger issues, bigger fish
Yeah,
to fry.
exactly. Like
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, like
I
thinking
was gonna
about.
say that exactly.
Yeah, like we've been saying that all night. This episode is gonna be going back to what we were talking about earlier. Uh,
Yeah.
but like the thought, like thinking empathetically and just like, so like when they're thinking that, it's like, I mean, yeah, like you broke it down pretty well. You get the idea that it's like, okay, I mean, it's the idea of being on I keep doing sports analogies, but being on a team and thinking you're better than the starter and you're not playing. It's the same, like,
Yeah.
it's a natural kind of instinct, but you got to hopefully grow past that. And, yeah, I mean, it's definitely prevalent in art, but you hope it's not because art can be so pure when it's not like that.
Hmm. And no, like there's people, and it's really sad too, because like for me, in my case, it's sad because like I do have a pretty big platform in Iowa, and I've tried my best to like put other artists on and stuff, and a lot of times like I've just been fucked over time after time after time. Like literally at my last show in Voodoo, the guy Shaky Sean who's on Cobra with me, he I literally so he was just so zanned out that whole day. He messaged me the morning of, like, hey man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to make the show. I don't have a ride. So literally, I hit up my boy Elijah. I'm like, yo, we gotta go pick up this guy Shaky because like this is one of my biggest songs of the time. I told people he was gonna be at the show. I need him at the show,
Yeah.
like just to keep appearances, and I was excited to do the song. And so we literally drove up to Des Moines to get him, and the whole time this man was just off the drugs, and he didn't realize that like his friends who was gonna give him a ride, they literally followed us back to Iowa City. He could have rode with them. That was a whole like few hours out of my day I wasted that should have
Yeah,
helped me through my
man.
show, getting my head right for my show, where I wasted out because the dude was just off the drugs. So whatever, we come back to Iowa City, and on the way to the show, he's already off like Adderall and Xans and whatever. Like you pop pills, whatever. Like I that's for you, whatever. I'm
Yeah.
not saying it's a terrible thing. I'm not saying it's the best thing.
It's not
But
good for you.
anyways, he well facts. But he popped 2 tabs of acid on the way to the show. And keep in mind, I'm the headliner. He's like one of the only people
how
besides
long was
myself that
how long was
people
he
are going to
supposed to
see on
do?
stage.
Was he supposed to do any? And he was supposed to do,
He has one song with me.
bro. God, yeah, but still 2 times that. God damn. But see, that's the kind of thing though. You
Yeah,
that's
bro.
the kind of
And
person
then
you know ain't like a like no. I mean, whatever. I don't know, dude. Like you know, that's not he's not a legit artist. You're not taking it seriously then.
yeah,
Like
yeah, and that's like it's that like I get it. He has his own issues and he has his reasons why he does drugs because he does deal with really bad depression and stuff. But like it's just not the best way. Well, that's not a great way of coping with it at all. But we did the show, and then he was really drunk, really like just drugged out that whole night. And then like the morning after, like I like woke up to my Snapchat. He was talking mad shit about me. Like fuck Benny the Jet. Like he stole this song from me. Stole a song that we did together. He's like no one even listens to your part anyway. And it was just like so sad because like this dude, I literally like I went out of my way to make sure I could get him on my show. I didn't have to do that. I didn't have to go up. We didn't have to go get him. We didn't have to bring him down here. And it's just like it's really sad because like I don't really trust any artists anymore, to be honest, at least out here. I have a lot of connections in like Chicago and LA and places, but around Iowa, it's just been real like toxic. And like I've heard stories of other artists saying like, "Oh yeah, I only come around Benny because when he's brought up, I'm brought up." And like that whole mindset's just toxic as
yeah,
fuck.
that is. And I want to say though, like first of all, I mean, all you can do is your best, and like so, it sounds like you have, and then you feel like you did your job, and if it worked, it worked. It didn't work. I in my I've been doing this for a while. I don't know how many years now, but long story short, especially I got burned. I've been burned a lot, like especially over like early promotion, like early booking gigs. I remember that were like I just didn't. Didn't know. I didn't have the
Mm-hmm.
knowledge to know when I'm getting tricked and when I'm not getting tricked. And I definitely became pretty bitter where like I ain't
Yeah.
trust nobody. And then like I ran a showcase for like a year and like I can't tell you how many times artists were super late or just not professional. And so like that, yeah, it gets to you and you can get bitter about it. And now I'm starting to come I feel like I'm more, back around with the optimistic with artists, but
Yeah.
I was definitely more bitter for a little bit.
I was just like, it's really funny because you listen to my podcast I've done like, or like interviews I've done like a year or two ago, where I'm just talking about like people around me, and like none of the people I talked about except for one person has stayed the whole time. And like one of them is the guy who, like I said, made the diss track about me, and like people who I literally was putting on my platform, like out of his own ear, out of his own mouth on the podcast, he's like, I wouldn't know how to do these shows without Benny. Like he's
Yeah.
like, I didn't know how to do it until I met Benny. It's like, all right, so you can go say what you want, but I literally have like just recordings of you just talking great things about me. But it all really is like it's business, like we were saying earlier. A
Yeah.
lot of it's just business, and people look at it that way. And honestly, I've been naive in that aspect too of thinking when things were friendship when they was really just business. So
Yeah.
it's really just a learning. It was a lesson, and it's I don't know. There are really great artists out here, but especially in the rap community or the rap culture, it's really cutthroat, as you know. And this shit is real. People die over this shit all the time. FBG Duck got smoked. Rest in peace. I opened up for him last year. You know what
For
I'm saying? I
real?
was just like
Yeah.
next to that man, bro. And then he got killed. And like Pac and Big, like obviously that's like the greatest example of
Yeah.
beef gone to shit. And they were so young. It's not worth it. It's over rap shit.
No,
But
it's not worth that shit. I mean, the shit about the crazy thing about a lot of the Chicago beefs is that there have been rap beefs, but also just real beefs, like real with like real
yeah,
background
that's true.
shit. But like, yeah, I mean, no, all the stupid rap beefs is a lot of jealousy. It's all petty. It's like high school again. Like that ain't, like whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you got to take the high road, like for longevity, and like I know I can tell just from talking to you for a long bit and knowing like that you have this background knowledge of the industry and like learned all that stuff. Like the plan is longevity. The trick with all this shit is longevity. Everybody is just trying to make a hit here and there, and the hits are important. But I think you probably have an idea. Like the longer you're around, the better this works.
Yeah.
And like I think the high road works the best. I mean, a occasional beef to hype up your career to me is not like worth it.
Yeah. Exactly. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna diss somebody unless I actually have a reason to diss them.
Yeah,
Like, I'm not just gonna create some drama just to get people talking.
yeah,
That's not what I'm about. That's not what my brand is. That's not what I'm trying to promote at
yeah,
all. But the other side of what you just said with the longevity thing, um, at the same time, the longer you're actually they were talking about this on what are they talking about? Was it Joe Rogan?
okay,
Might have been Joe Rogan. They were saying that the longer that you are famous, like the harder you're gonna fall. You know what I mean? Like that's why so many people like they get famous and then they get rich and then they get out and they keep making their business endeavors, but they get out of the
yeah,
limelight
yeah,
because at some point, the older you get, someone is gonna feel a certain type of way. Especially the older you get, there's gonna be the new generation. Like okay, like Ellen, like Ellen's a monster. We already know about this shit. But like with Ellen, they're like, oh, I can see, I could do what she does. I could fucking talk to Michelle Obama and dance. Let's get her out of here. Fuck that shit.
yeah.
New people. It's time for that new shit. And so that's why people I feel like really are coming at like with this whole, you know, the whole cancellation culture. It's like a lot of it is valid, and we should cancel some of these people that are being canceled. But at the same time, a lot of it is out of jealousy or out of wanting some new shit.
No,
And
and it's
like
and
the
people are getting a thrill out of doing the actual cancellations. I've talked about it plenty of times. It's super unfucking healthy. It's an unhealthy way to live. It's an unhealthy way to think. I'm not saying that some of the situations aren't valid and like we should have complaints and we should talk about them, but and like the
yeah,
Ellen situation, if it's a hostile work environment, we should have those conversations. But like, I don't think people are not beyond growing, and we can't create a culture that's beyond letting people grow. It just
exactly.
fucks everything
Well,
up.
I feel like if it's something like you just don't treat your employees good, or like if it's not something like you killed somebody or you're out here assaulting people, like I think there it should be a conversation had. Like don't just be so quick to cut someone off, like fuck this person, let's cancel them. Let's have that conversation with that person. Be like, all right, look,
Yeah.
you're fucking up. You need to change your ways. And if they're like, oh fuck that shit, continue what they're doing, all right, then we can have that cancellation, that conversation. But I feel like a lot of this is just a lack of conversation.
But to me, even the idea, in all honesty, like as I break it down or as I think more about it, like the idea of being able to cancel somebody is kind of just too much. Like there's platforms for everybody to have their views and talk about it. And I'm gonna disagree with the most brutal shit or like the most wrong shit, whatever. I'm gonna disagree with it, but I'm not here to say that that person doesn't have a route to talk to somebody. I mean, unless it's like you said, something that can harm somebody or something like that.
Yeah,
But if it's just something that's a different view, like I'm not saying you can't have your platform because that's unhealthy. That's not good for me to have like, how are we supposed to create conversations then? How are you supposed to have your side of the argument if you never hear the other side of the arguments?
exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I just went on a tangent there. But
You know what's crazy? This is super random. But you look like if my roommate time traveled. So like y'all look like just like
all right.
y'all look so similar.
All right. Well,
I'll
you
send
know
you a
what?
picture later.
You know what? Who knows? We're soon we're gonna be able to time travel, so nobody fucking knows.
Bro, I wanna time travel, to be honest. I do want to do it.
Wait, when
I
would you
love
try? You
time
would
travel.
travel to the past or to the future?
Mm. Well, I'd want to just like go kick it in the '80s for a bit, to be honest. Like just like put on my Thriller jacket, just
Right.
go to like fucking Hollywood and just walk down the boulevard and look at all the like the different shit. But
That's funny. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, like you know, it's funny whenever you see old movies and they're predicting the future though. Like they predicted 2000, they predicted 2020, and it never looks like that. So
yeah,
like, I wonder what it would look like if we, you shoot ahead to 20
I feel
years.
like yeah. I mean, I feel like it's not even gonna look much different. I think we'll just have a little more technology technology advancement. We got Elon Musk, sending rockets up,
Yeah.
and we got the Teslas and shit. So there's definitely be a lot more advancements in the like next 20 years, but it's gonna look the same. I mean,
Probably.
when
Yeah.
Back to the Future said that 2017, 2016, whatever it was, they said we're gonna have flying cars and
Yeah.
hoverboards,
Yeah.
everything. Well, they got a few things right, but it's really a guessing
Yeah.
game, and you know, I
Uh,
don't think it's gonna be anything drastically different
no,
besides maybe like like the economy and the fucking the world with like global warming. It might just be might not have seasons in 20 years.
yeah. I
Like you
mean,
don't
there's
know what the
real
fuck is
stuff to all
happening.
those things, but I feel like it never looks like, how like they always make it look like spaceships and shit. It never looks that way.
Yeah,
Like,
it'd be cool though. I would definitely be cool with that.
oh, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Bring it on. Who knows? I do think the one thing I've always asked my friends is like, what do we think? Give or take 20 years, whether or not we're still driving cars. That's the one that's going to happen sooner or later. So I'm like, I don't know. We'll
That's
see.
true.
We'll see.
I don't know. There's just so many cars. We're gonna be driving cars for a while, but like when things are so much easier, like when we have Lyft and Uber and all that shit, like it's just easier to just like dial something in your phone than go through the process of, buying a car, insurance, like. But you're probably just talking about like the advancements,
Yeah,
right?
I just mean like literally no, because I think you're right. First off, Lyft and Ubers, like that's the best thing that we've had because like that's like saved a lot of drunk driving, I think. So that's like huge.
Yeah.
But no, I just mean like, and 20 years, by the way, I don't think I'm taking that. I just put that as an arbitrary number. But like,
Yeah, yeah.
just the fact that like cars are gonna be auto driving, I think they'll still be drivers, but like they'll be pretty much,
yeah.
we'll be pretty much doing the auto drive thing sooner, probably sooner than we think.
That's scary too, because like,
Yeah.
man, it's really scary to think about that shit, because like, there's no, I don't know, robots are terrifying.
Right, because what if somebody changes your directions or some shit? You can't control where you're going. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's scary. But I mean, there's a lot of car accidents too, so there's that argument too. I don't fucking know. Where are we going?
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know. Anyways, is there anything I'm sure I missed something that I want. I'm trying to look at my notes. I think the only thing I really did want to ask you, because you had mentioned your acting stuff. We can also always have another conversation any other time if we want.
I'm super down. Have me back whenever.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. But I want to make sure I ask you here. Do you have so are you actively still pursuing acting work, or are you pretty much just doing music?
Not like, so when I was younger, I used to like do that stuff like legit. Like I was in commercials, and like short films, all this kind of stuff. I was in theater all the time. Like there's like almost never a time I wasn't like in a production. But no, like I'm really like when it comes to that acting, I'm really gonna be focusing more on my music videos and stuff, because I actually, this college video was like my first video like that I like co-directed, or so like I had like my hands on like directing behind that stuff, and I really want to I guess just further that with my music videos. I'm trying to put out visual content for every single song I've dropped already and what I'm gonna drop. So I have like some catch up to do, plus I have a lot of ideas for the future.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like actual like being in movies and stuff, like not right now in my career, but that's something I would love to do. I still have the chops. I can still do it. I have the connections. I wouldn't be opposed to being an extra in a TV show or something, and working that way up. But like at the same time, I'm really focused on my career, and I think I like the creative freedom when I'm making my own stuff when it comes to like music videos or skits or whatever. I also want to do I really want to do more stuff with my YouTube channel, because it's really dry right now, and I really want to actually, because like that's a huge part of who I am. I literally have this like tattoo, break a leg on me.
Oh,
Because, like that's a huge part of who I am.
You're an entertainer, yeah.
So yeah, of course that's something I would love to do in the future. And if you ever know anybody who needs an extra or something, let me know.
Well, the extra work, I mean, right now extra work is down, but you could definitely get extra work if you ever need that. I mean, but you're so right. The real thing is when you're like a real creative. I mean, I like acting. I like doing that stuff too. And I kind of feel similarly where it's like, we'll get to it when we get to it. But like it's just like having your own creative control. It's like it's hard. It's hard when you know what it's like to have creative control, to have worked on your own music videos or to work on your own songs. I mean, music is the easiest way to make your own, like, maybe not the easiest, but it's a way where you just have complete control. Then it's hard to go back to not having control.
Yeah, but it's also like nice too, because like I said, I've done modeling and stuff. So like I was also used to, and also like a lot of plays and musicals and stuff. And like I said, I've gone to like music camp like Dorian and stuff like that. So I'm very used to like taking direction. Like when I do photo shoots and stuff, it's like I'm used to like having the cameraman or like the company who is hiring me. Like I'm like, all right, what do you want me to do? Like I'm saying, I'll be here, whatever you need, I'll do it, and I'm fine with that. I'm good taking that direction, and like I'll put my own like interpretation on it, because like when it comes to like plays and stuff, they tell you like I'd be a little more like somber in the scene, like add a little more, emotion.
Yeah.
It's up to you to like determine how you're gonna react and act upon those directions. So like there is that aspect too, and I do enjoy that. But at the same time, where I am right now in my career, I really want to be more hands-on and be creating stuff myself and directing other people, because my whole life I've been, directed. So I'm ready to do that stuff too. My friend Billy, he's a stand-up comedian. He wants to do more skits and stuff. He has a lot of ideas. So I'm gonna try to help him out with that too, and we'll see if something comes of that. But
yeah, I think that's important. It's important right now to
question. Yes and no.
No, that's good, and it's just to have that skill set is important. And yeah, I mean, like you said, and I also don't want to make me think like I'm just talking shit to all actors. Like you're right, like there is a creative process in taking the direction. There absolutely is. I just more so was referring to like the actual overall like story, like you making like Cops, like that's your, like you have your handprint on the actual story there, and that's how we know who you are as an artist. Exactly. So that's awesome. That's cool to hear, and I'm sure you will do more art or like acting work eventually, especially with the sketches and stuff, because I think that's going to be what we need to be doing nowadays for the as this pandemic is going. You got to get out as much as you can.
Yeah, it's also a great time. The pandemic has also been a good time for artists to really explore the creativity more in depth, because like a lot of people couldn't work, or there's whatever reason you got to stay inside. Well, not for a reason, but like being inside is giving us that opportunity to create, like Machine Gun Kelly when he did all the punk covers like daily, and like even Patrick Stewart, every day on Twitter, in quarantine he's read like a sonnet on Twitter. Like it's just real wholesome and nice. Like I said earlier, you're always creating, and it's a really good time for us to continue that. And I'm excited to see what else is gonna be put out, not just by myself but by other people. I know I have my set plans, my music videos, my next songs, all that, but I'm also just a fan of art in general. So I'm excited to see like all the art that people made, like when it comes to drawing, painting, dancing, all that. Like I'm a slut for art. I'm not like I love everything artistic. So I'm here for all that, and
that's great. And that also helps with honestly, that does kind of help with just like the general marketing of yourself, like because the more you put yourself out there saying you like other people's art, like that usually helps draw people into you as well. Not to be selfish about it, but I mean, it does help. I don't know. Is there are you feeling pretty ready for Thursday's show? You feeling pretty good about it?
Yeah, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. But I just want to say before I go, I do want to say I do rock with you. Your podcast is really good. I really like that the entanglement episode you did. That was good. I was talking with that.
I did have to talk a little bit about that. I had to.
You have to. But yeah. So like, I just want to say, keep doing your shit, man. I know you said that you like, if you wanted to do it, but I really think that it is important right now.
Yeah.
Just continue talking and have these narratives.
Yeah.
Not only just with artists, but like with your audience and stuff. Like it's really important right now, and I salute you. I want to eventually get into podcasts myself. So like, it's really fun to come on these different podcasts.
Yeah.
I've been in like 3, 4, 5 podcasts now, and everyone's just vastly different.
It's
so cool. Everyone does it differently. The approach is different, and I love that. So continue your work, bro.
Thank you, man. That means that means
work with you in the future on whatever it is.
That means a lot, man. That's really important because, like, I remember I posted that. I really wanted to like get people's feedback, and I did get people's feedback, and a lot of it was like, just get some other perspectives on the show, and like, that means a lot, man. Just you saying those words, because it does matter, and like I think it is important in this time to find a way just to have my unique perspective out there. So like, So like, just so people know, like, you know a little background to it,
Yeah.
and you could, and I know you know this, but you could definitely do a podcast. You
And
could start a
like,
podcast right now, and you would get fans.
yeah. I was gonna say like what I was saying earlier. Like even if people are like, even if you don't see the direct like feedback, like when people like right, like your fans aren't always gonna be the ones that live in your hometown and shit. It's gonna be people from
Right.
across the world you don't know. But like I think because you are white but also Latino,
Yeah.
and you have such an interesting outlook on life because you do make music, and you know you like we all go through our own shit. So even if like your conversation doesn't resonate with one person, there's gonna be somebody else who's gonna be
Right.
like, wow, this is awesome. Become a fan and listen to you religiously.
Yeah.
It's just real, and I think you should continue to do
Yeah.
this.
No.
And I appreciate you letting me come on your show.
Yeah.
And it means a lot to me.
No.
Hit me up whenever you want.
Yeah.
And we should also make some music together too.
We should do both those things, man. I'll definitely get you back on, and I would love to. I'm working on a bunch of music actually right now and stuff. So once I get the shit together, have some open verses, maybe I'll send some shit over.
Yeah, send me whatever, bro. I got you. I won't even charge you.
Yeah, that's right. Going back to that, no, for sure, bro. Now let's do it. Vice versa, bro. Same to you. If you need a verse, hit me up.
Hell yeah, let's do it, bro. Yeah, if you need anything, let me know. I got
you. Yeah, for sure, bro. Is there anything else you got to plug before we get out of here? Do you know?
I'll just touch base on all my shit real quick.
Yeah.
So I'm Benny the Jet. You can find me on all platforms at Benny the Jet. My Instagram is Benny the Jet __. My Twitter is Benny the Jet ___. Let's see. I got a music video that just dropped called Cops. It's a song about police brutality and what it's like to be a person of color in America. That's on YouTube. Featuring Obs or Aubrey Barnes, but his artist name's Obs.
Yeah.
I got a show on Thursday, but I don't know when this is airing. But I got a show at Voodoo Lounge in Cedar Falls on Thursday. I'm headlining that, and then I got a song dropping called "Anthem for the Misfits" this weekend, which is basically a song about what it like. It's an anthem for the misfits.
Right.
Says it is.
Yeah.
Like it's for the people who feel like they haven't ever had shit. People that people that feel like they've been knocked down a bunch. People like me who like in school, may have been called gay for being artistic, stuff like that. So it's just an anthem for the people.
Yeah.
And what else? I just did a podcast for the Sexy Housewife podcast. That's gonna come out in like a month or 2 weeks to a month, she said.
Yeah.
And then
man, you got the music. I can tell you got the music marketing because you really know how to you're perfect at you had the plugs backed up. It was great. Like that's how you need to do it. That's like radio talk right there. That's perfect.
Hell yeah.
Wait, one last thing I almost forgot because I forgot I used to do this. I don't do as many interviews. I do interviews sometimes here, but what I used to always ask is since especially you like to turn up and shit. So you come home, you're nice and fucked up, and you're like, oh, I'm hungry, and I got the munchies. Maybe you smoked a bowl or some shit. What is your go-to munchie?
Pizza rolls.
Oh yeah, I rock with that.
Pepperoni or like combination, supreme. Sometimes I fuck with that. I like pizza. I like pizza in all forms. Yeah, so I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, well,
but like if I could that's my go-to because it's easy. But I love pasta, bro. Pasta's my shit. If I'm high or drunk, I'll eat pasta all day.
I feel you though. Either of those answers are very acceptable with me.
But yeah, both Italian foods.
You're right. Oh man. All right, bro. Well, that's perfect, man. I really appreciate you taking the time. This was a good conversation, man. I enjoyed it.
Hell yeah. Let me know any details about the podcast. I'll promote all this shit.
Yeah.
Let me know.
I'll hit you up right after, man. For sure, bro. I appreciate you.
I bet.
All right, man.
Be safe, man.
Yeah, you too. All right. I hope you enjoyed that conversation with the homie Benny the Jet. Thank you for coming on, man. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate all you guys for listening to The David Lopez Show, presented by Passion Park ENT. As always, I will be back very soon. I got some more interviews and conversations scheduled, so I'm excited for all of that. Plus, I got some more sports talk I got to get going. You know what I'm saying? These playoffs keep going. But if you listen or watch or any of that stuff, it would mean the world if you could subscribe, comment, like, share. It really helps. Really, really, really helps. And if you want to find out about my music or about any of our entertainment stuff, go to www.thedavidlopez.com or go to www.passionparkent.com. You can find all that jazz. I'll be back soon. We're going to be talking tomorrow. I got an awesome scheduled interview for tomorrow that I'm really excited about, and I hope you guys will enjoy. So, like always, keep it easy. Be easy. Stay well. Have a great weekend. Enjoy some time with some loved ones. I don't know. Holla. Peace out.